Hey everyone, Deb here. I'm here with a color by number collaboration that is hosted by Becca JB. I think it's the Becca JB. I will have the exact hashtag in the title and also her channel link. So be sure to check her out. Now, she posts on Tuesdays, but she said you can post anytime. I started mine on Tuesday, but I didn't get it done until Wednesday, so I'm going to post it today. I thought about just saving it for next week, but I don't know that I'll do this every week, maybe once a month or something because I'm getting too many coloring collabs here for daily stuff. And I'm already in one on Tuesday that I want to continue every week. So this book I hadn't used yet. I've had it for a little while now, since last year sometime. It is called Stress Relief Color by Number, and it is by Southern Lotus, Coloring Book to Your Imagination Run Wild. I should have paid more attention to the cover for some of the color choices, but I'll get into that in a minute. So this paper is, well, first of all, it's spiral bound, so it flips up this way, which is wonderful. I didn't do the cover page, and I didn't do, I think that was the only, oh, and I didn't do the This Book Belongs To page. So, and then the next page after those two is two test color pages, and can you hear how thick this is? This is like watercolor or mixed media paper. It's really nice quality. And so I think what I'm going to do is try different things. So this week I used water-based markers, and I used a combination of Tan Mitt, which I had a big set of, and Crayola tip markers because they're both water-based. They reacted differently on the paper, and I'll get into that in a minute if I remember. So in looking at this, you'll see white is just white. They have the codes here. So I actually did look up some to make sure what I had in my mind matched the thinking. But I should have looked at the cover because that would have made it a little more clear also, because I think there's pretty much everything represented here um, for what they had as the colors. I think I'll also try watercolor pencils if I have enough colors. So I do, if you get one of these, follow this because I had a lot of trouble with the red, especially light red. I had red and I had dark red, but light red I didn't really have, and I ended up using red instead of light red and then something else in some of the it's flowers, mostly flowers, right? Yeah, it's mostly flowers. Um, but almost all the colors have light yellow, yellow, dark yellow, light orange, orange, dark orange. So they all have light, dark, light, regular, dark. Same with the pink, the red. Now the greens were a little different. They had yellow green, apple green, and moss green. Um, I probably should have paid attention to the cover for those in particular. Cyan, which is like a green blue, sky blue, and navy blue. I think I did pretty good on those. Although my sky blue looks more like turquoise. And then same with the purple, light, medium, regular, dark. And then I didn't end up using any of the things, light brown, brown, olive brown. See, that's different. Light gray, gray, dark gray, and black. So my page did not have anything from 24 down, and it didn't have anything numbered white. There were a couple spaces like in the center of flowers and things that were left blank, but I filled them in with something. And so here's, I photocopied, which you're not permitted to do, but it was for my personal use because I needed to see my color chart right next to me. So yeah, these are perforated pages, so you can take out your test color page and then put it by your side. So you can do that. There's only two test color pages, and I don't know if I'm using different mediums. I might want to save one of those on the heavier paper for watercolor pencils or something, you know, using water. So yeah, and so like I said, I use mostly tan mitt, but there were a couple places I used Crayola, and on the reds, I actually brought in a Papermate Flare, which I don't recommend because the point's too thin on them, but I was having trouble matching the red. So here's my page. I think it came out okay. Um, my moss green is this darker green, and uh, this is apple green. Now, I must have, oh, okay, I switched to Crayola here. I didn't write that down because my apple green color in Tan felt a little dry to me, and I haven't used them that much. So anyway, and I did use Crayola tip for 14, which was supposed to be yellow green. I think that was supposed to be just a tad darker than that. Okay, so about the paper, it's very textured, and about the markers, I should have left a couple out. I put them away already. The Tan Mitt has a regular brush. I mean, it's a fibrous brush. And I found that the tip would bend quite a lot on this paper. And as a result, even though I thought I got close to the edges, um, when they dried, I had a lot of like white. I still see a couple in the yellow, but anyway, um, so I had to go back over. Whereas, and the tan mitt kind of absorbed into the paper. I thought it was doing pretty well and looking pretty good. So in the green mostly, and a little bit in the reds, I had to use the Crayola Super Tips is what they're called. Um, they have I like their tip. It's not bendy. It's either it's pointy and angled so you can get into the spaces. However, for some reason, the ink on those seemed to like lay on the paper instead of absorbing in right away. Took longer to dry, and as a result, I got more streaking with the Crayolas on this paper. And remember, this is like a porous, heavy paper. So I actually preferred the Tan Mitt ink to the Crayola ink on this paper, but I prefer the Crayola tip and how it feels, the super tip and how it feels going down. It glides on better, but maybe that's not the best for this particular paper. So anyway, yeah, you really have to. So bottom line is it actually would be good to be able to test it on the paper itself to see how it feels, not just the color, but to see how the paper feels or the pen ink feels. And there are no other test pages. That's oh, there's more than flowers in here. Okay, good. Awesome. Oh, yeah. I won't show them to you because I think I did a flip through on this before, so like last year. Um, there are flowers, but there's also fruits and creatures and sea and oh, this is awesome. I'm happy because I thought it was going to be all flowers, but and there are some, but there's more than that. This is awesome. So I will be using this, or I have two other I'm sorry, color by numbers. One is a mandala one and one is a stained glass one, which is what I started to say. So I might alternate back and forth, but I definitely want to try more different medium in this book. I could even try acrylic markers on some of this, but I'm a little nervous about doing that. First of all, I have to make sure I have enough of the color variations because the light yellow and I mean the light regular and dark. I don't have that in all my different mediums. I know I don't. I might even try glitter gel pen on one of the pages because they're pretty. Some of them are pretty. Like this one's not even as detailed as some of them. But yeah, I had fun. And how I approach it is I start with number 2 and then number 3. most of the way. And then as I got into the reds, this was the first red I did. And this was supposed to be light red and red, but my light red and red initially looked almost exactly the same. So then I pulled out the dark red and went over the red with the dark red. So I wasn't real happy with that. So then down here or here was supposed to be just regular red. And that's where I used the Papermate Flare. Well, that actually almost looks dark red. It's sort of in between these two here, sort of in between the what I was using for light red and dark red. So down here, number 12 is supposed to be red, so I used red, which actually was light red here. And then this was dark pink, and then this was supposed to be light red. Well, I already used the lightest red I had, so I went with a pink. So it looks orange there. I just totally changed it up. But that is dark pink and red, which I don't know. Anyway, the colors are looking different on my screen than and I also thought it was kind of weird. Number 6 was orange. So we had orange leaves, and I kind of thought that was a little strange, where all the other leaves were different shades of green. But yeah, so if you don't like something, I mean, you kind of don't know till you're starting to get into it more. But well, there's orange here too, so I guess that's what they were thinking. I don't know. And like one of the stems, oh, this one didn't have a number, but since it was all this green, I just made it that green. Yet all the other stems are like the mossy green. So, just little things. Two flower centers didn't have numbers. I just chose what I wanted to use. But I think it came out pretty looking at it. Except I need to go over some of the yellows I see where it did kind of pull away from the edges. So yeah, let me know what you think. And I'm getting used to the paper because it's very different than the Amazon cheap paper. It's closer to, let me just see something. Uh, and it's rougher than like Johanna Basford. It's not quite as thick. This is a very smooth paper though. This is definitely has a feel of a mixed media watercolor paper, which I like for mixed media and watercolor. So like I said, I might be trying watercolor in here too, if I can find enough colors. All right, guys, that's all. I won't keep you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to go check out the Becca JB and use the hashtag. I know I saw two other people anyway that participated. There probably are more, but that's I saw them pop up yesterday. So yeah, be sure to check them out. And do you like doing color by number? Let me know. And if you do, feel free to join in. I'm sure Becca would be happy about that. Okay, take care. Hugs, love, and peace.